Hi, I'm Carmel Debadine. I believe food shouldn't just taste good, but it should look awesome as well. Join me as I bring my kitchen to yours. This is the DB Kitchen. Hi, welcome back to the DB Kitchen. I'm Carmel. Today we're going to be cooking one of my favourite dishes in the world. We're going to be cooking a duck breast with pomegranate gastrique, which is a delicious, super sweet and tangy vinegary sauce. And then we've also got fondant potatoes, which are a bit of a French classic. And we've got some lovely asparagus and a side salad. Okay, so we're going to start with our gastrique. We're going to use a pomegranate. The seeds are incredibly annoying to get out, but I did learn a little trick from Nigella. Okay, now that your kitchen potentially looks a little bit like there's been a massacre, just go into your pomegranate, just go through the seeds and just make sure there's no big chunks of the white stuff. We've got our half cup of sugar, and then we're just going to add to that 2 tablespoons of water, and we're just going to let that dissolve. And when you can see crystals on the side of the pan, just gently sweep them back into place. If you whack the heat on, you're just going to burn it and then bin it. We're going to add the vinegar all in one go. If you add vinegar to caramel, it gets that really like tangy, sweet and sour, quite... Okay, now we're going to add a bit of red wine. This is going to give us a really nice fruity base. And then in goes the pomegranate. We just want this to bubble away. And we're going to start to see a syrup form underneath. Now we've reduced our sauce. You can see that it's all nice and sticky. We're just going to take that off the heat. And then we're going to add a little pepper. And you can see it's all beautifully caramelized on the top. And then we want to grab a strainer, and we're just going to keep the seeds out. Take away the glamour of a dish when you're picking out pomegranate seeds from your teeth. That's it. Let's go in with some salt. I want quite a lot because it's going to come off mostly when we cook it. And then we're just going to flip it over. We're going to season the underside with a little salt and pepper. And then we're just going to let that rest while we move on to our potatoes. So we're going to move on to our fondant potatoes now that the duck is set aside and seasoned. And so what we're going to do is first we're just going to take our garlic. We just need 2 cloves. Next, find your flattest potato, and then we're just going to take the ends off where you can see it start to taper. And then we're going to also create another flat end on this side. And then we're just going to flip the potato onto its end, and we're just going to really square chop into these fun little potato towers. And there you go. So what we're going to do is we're going to add to the pan a little bit of olive oil and some butter. Once we've got nice bubbly butter, we're going to put the potatoes straight in, one side down. I'm just going to add a little salt and pepper. We're going to take our garlic straight in, 2 stems of rosemary and a little bit of thyme. We'll get these beautiful golden edges on the potatoes. And once you're ready, we're going to turn them over and do the exact same on the other side. Once we've got another nice brown bottom on our potatoes, then we are going to add in our chicken stock. Basically, you want around about 1/2 inch, and then we're going to stick the entire thing into the oven. And we'll bake those at 200 centigrade for 20 minutes. So the most important thing to do with duck before you start to cook, you're going to have to render that out slowly. We're going to have to melt all of the fat out before we put anything in the oven to join the potatoes, which we're going to do later. We're just going to very carefully put the breast together like this and strain off that fat. Then we are going to turn the duck over, and the oven will do the rest of the work for us. So our last element is the asparagus, which we're going to cook once the duck is resting. So for now, all we're going to do is just remove the wooden ends. And in goes the asparagus, and then we're going to grab just a little bit of butter, and that'll just create a little bit of sauce for the asparagus. Really quite sort of like, fun and messy. So for plating, I think a really beautiful way to do this is actually to share it, sort of steak restaurant family style. So what we're going to do is we're going to just give a beautiful, generous portion of everything on a lovely board, and then it's totally Instagram ready. We're going to splash in some fresh herbs, use the colours from the pomegranate, we've got the beautiful sauce, and everything's going to be ready to go. For the full recipe, please go to my website, thedbkitchen.com, and check out our Instagram page @thedbkitchen.